Hello, my favorite people. Yeah, what's up, guys? It is Friday. Is it? It is. I'm really excited. I've been in an amazing mood the last couple of days. I've really started taking action in my life in the sense of where I'm trusting myself. And I know that that can be difficult to do sometimes, is to really trust our gut and our instincts to do something or to not to do something. And actually, more times than none, are we actually usually avoiding that actual gut feeling, instinct feeling, because we don't realize we're not realizing the actual impact on us when we're ignoring that thought or feeling. And you know, our internal instinct and our gut, right, is something that knows us best. I like to look at the ego and our gut as two completely different things, because our ego prevents us in a way from moving forward, because it's constantly trying to just like scare us away from taking change, or creating limiting beliefs in the sense of making us feel like we can't actually do things, and really just getting in our way and like preventing us from moving forward. And then you have your gut, your instinct, and your instinct is, I think, more like intentional for a positive, opposed to the ego being more of like a negative. And your gut instinct is like, something's not right here, something's kind of coming up. It's like more of a feeling, where the ego is focused on our mind and our thoughts and where they come up uncontrollably. And our gut feeling is something where it's kind of like, something doesn't feel right here. I can't tell you what it is, but I am giving you a feeling for you to really get curious and to think about it yourself. And I think that's really powerful. And why I'm really even talking about that is because I want to just express something that's been coming up for me as well. And, we consistently relate our experiences to something that already happened to us, and we're bringing it with us into the future, and potentially, interrupting another plan or an opportunity that we have, but we're connecting it to something that happened in the past. And then that's when our ego is like, I don't know, like, this went wrong back then. I'm fearful that it's going to go wrong again for you. Maybe you shouldn't do it at all. And it prevents us from taking new action, which in fact, that new action is really what's going to help us transform and grow and everything like that. And interesting that I just said about our past and how we bring the past into the future, is that, so it's like connecting the dots. We can't connect the dots moving forward. And someone told me this yesterday, and I thought it was powerful AF. Is that we can't connect the dots going forward because we don't actually know where we're going. But what we can do is connect the dots going backwards. And when you can connect the dots going backwards, you can see like a measurable goals, and you can focus on where you've come, what you've achieved, how you've gotten through this, and it can really relate back and look at something. But we really have no idea what is in store for us, because you can have a plan and you can try your best to keep that plan, but things pop up all the time. And so I really thought that was cool, because when something comes up for us and we're feeling a bit hesitant, or we're feeling whatever, or we're thinking to ourselves, well, that happened last time and I don't want to do it again because I don't want it to happen again. And so I can tell you that, even just by being in that mindset of fear that it will happen again, you're creating that stigma in your head that even if you were to go through the thing that you wanted to do, by having that previous thought already of like concern that it's going to screw up like it did last time, say you did go through with it, you're entering what you said you were going to go through with that mindset of being fearful, and it's in the back of your mind. So not only can you not be fully present, but you're searching for something to prove you're right and to show you that you had a reason to be, you had a reason to be nervous or afraid and stuff like that. And so as you can see, like, if you can see what is happening there on how it becomes this like vicious circle, again, I apologize. If you can see the vicious circle of that something happened, we made it mean something, we feel a certain way about it, and then we store it. Our brain is like storage, we're just like, okay, cool, I'm gonna put that in the back room for a little bit. And then we wait and something else pops up, and say maybe we get excited at first, and then our ego is like, hey, Braden, dude, you remember that one time? I'm like, oh, fuck. Yeah, you're right. That did happen. And I was upset. And this is a thing, whatever. And then I'm like, what if it happens again? Maybe I don't want to do this. Maybe I don't want to get that excited. You know what? I still want to do it, so I'm going to do it. But I'm going to keep that in the back of my mind. And then by doing that, you're not even giving this new thing an actual true opportunity for it to like do anything for you, because you're having this in the back of your mind and you're looking for it. You're not like intentionally looking for it, but you're subconsciously looking for it because your ego is there to protect you, right? So your ego knows that it hurt you before, doesn't want it to hurt you again. But the problem with that is it's never just what happened. There's always a story created around what happened. It's never just like, yeah, I asked this person out and they said no. It's never just that. It's, I've liked this person for a long time and I finally got the courage to ask them, and like I felt like they liked me because like they talk to me all the time and like they smile at me and they're nice to me, so like I thought that I had a chance. So I asked them. But then like they told me no and they rejected me, and now I feel like a loser and I feel stupid. Like obviously they don't even like me. Who was I kidding to think that they would like me? I'm this, I'm that, and blah, blah, blah. And as you can see how damaging not only the story before it is, but then the story after. Because you don't actually know if someone likes you. And it's not rejection, it's redirection. And my friend Kayla says this all the time. And it's like a ping pong. It's like our life is like a pinball. Pinball pinball machine. It's like, it's not rejection. Rejection is just like, boom, no opportunity. It's redirection. It's boom, doesn't work. Go this way, go this way, go this way. Try this, try this, try this. If we can start getting and taking ourselves out of the story that we create around things, what happened was I asked this person out, they said no. That's it. That is literally it. It doesn't matter how the person talks to you. It doesn't matter this. It doesn't matter that. The thing is you like this person and you wanted to ask them out. That's it. What up, boys? And then after the fact is I'm talking about how we create stories around certain situations. And so then after the fact, then you make it mean something that they told you no. Hey, Meredith. Then you make it mean something that they told you no. And it wasn't like that. And then so what happens though is we take that experience of what happened because it was devastating and all this stuff, and we take it into our future. And then so we see this other person that we like and we're like, I don't know. I don't really feel like, I like them, but I don't know if they like me, and I don't want to ask them because last time I put myself out there, I got shut down and they didn't like me, and how did I even think that they liked me? And so it's like, none of that actually happened. The only thing that happened is you asked someone to go out with you. They said no. That was it. It has nothing to do with you. It's not personal. And it's all, again, about people's interests and like what they like. If a person likes heavy-set people and this like blonde bombshell comes up to them, and they're like, sorry, I'm not interested. That person made it about them, about how they look, who they are, and everything like that, when really this person over here, they, in their mind, they like heavier set people. Like, that's just who they like, and there's nothing wrong with that. But this person over here made it mean something. So if we can start making things mean, like not making things mean something, and just literally taking it for face value, how much you can actually start kind of living your life powerfully. Because if we go around, we're meaning-making machines. Us as people are meaning-making machines. There's always something behind it. Always. You know, someone looks at you this way, that probably means this. Someone stares at you, it probably means this. You know, every single thing we make mean something. Someone doesn't text you back, you make it mean something. Someone says they're going to call you and they don't, you make it mean something. Someone smiles at you and flirts with you and you ask them out and they say no, you make it mean something. As you can see, that's what we do all day. All day. And like, it doesn't have to be like that because we don't actually know what's going on ever. We really don't. And I know that like it hurts more people than it provides any value by being that way. So if we can just start understanding that, and as I say in all of my videos, really getting clear on that every individual operates completely different and we all have a different brain. You know, they say the word common sense, but common sense makes no sense at all because common sense is very far and few in between. Because what is common sense when people's brains aren't developed equally? It's not like all of our brains have like this like small portion that's the exact same as everyone else. That's where common sense would come from, but it's not like that. Every single person's brain is different. So every single person has different thoughts, different actions, different perceptions of people. Like, you know, I might go say to my friend, like, you know, I'm just joking around and be like, yeah, I don't know, fuck you, buddy. And I think that's a joke. You might have two people, one person that's just like, fuck you, Ray. And they laugh it off. And then you have that other person that's like, what the hell's Braden's problem? Swearing at me, calling me this and this and this. And then they take that and then they go and tell a friend, they're like, man, I saw Braden earlier and he was swearing at me. Like, I don't understand. Like, last time I saw Braden, go pay bills. Thanks for checking in. And thank you so much. Appreciate you. I appreciate you so much, Meredith. Enjoy your day. So, yeah, like, and it just prevents us. It will continue to prevent us. And what I want you to do is take something about yourself. Ask yourself, what is something I feel? Like, do I feel insecure? Do I feel like I can't trust people? Do I feel like I can't achieve anything? Do I feel fear? Do I feel, you know, what in a way do I feel that's kind of holding me back? And then once you can get clear on what you think it is that's holding you back, you can start thinking back in your life. Because what happens is we're born and we're taught everything. So we don't have any past to relate anything to, which is incredible, right? So when you're younger, you know, as we get older, we've experienced more things, so we can relate to more things, so we can say X, Y, and Z, and our ego can create more and more ways to keep us away. So if you can get clear on something that pops up for you that maybe feels like holds you back, and then you can start thinking back to your life of like, when was a time in my life that something happened that was similar to this, that had me thinking in that moment, no more, I'm not going to do it. And I'll share with you an example. So for me, when I was younger, I was really good at reading because I did Hooked on Phonics, but I wasn't really smart in other stuff, and I don't know what my deal was back then. But what I do know is that I raised my hand one day, the teacher called me out, I answered the question wrong, and people laughed at me. In that moment, I decided I'm not going to raise my hand anymore because I'm afraid to look stupid. And that has carried on through my entire life. There has been times where I'm in class and I want to raise my hand and I go, no, You don't know it. You're stupid. And then someone gets it right, and I'm like, damn it, I should have raised my hand. I would have looked good. I would have looked like I knew it. But that carried on with me my whole life. I didn't try that much in school. I made fun of the smart people. Like, haha, look at you loser in your books. You're trying. Who the fuck makes fun of people for trying? Right? But I had it in my mind that, like, I didn't know it. I'm stupid. I'm not smart. I don't want to look like an idiot anymore. So I'm not even going to ask for help, and I'm not even going to admit that I don't know it. So then it carries on to my high school. Then it carries on to college. When I went to college, most of the time I skipped class to go to the gym and work out. I was always in the gym. That's where you could find me. Show up to class late, did whatever the hell I wanted. And I was afraid to admit that I didn't know the answer. Because it seemed like, to me, in my world of that, was that everyone else was smart, and for some reason, I was so stupid, I didn't get it, and I didn't want to be laughed at. And another time I remember, my buddies, we were at like a party, and I don't even know why this came up, but people were asking questions. And if you answered the question, you got a candy. And I was upset because I thought to myself, I can't get a question right. I'm never going to get a candy. This isn't fair. And I remember being upset. Lo and behold, a question got answered. I didn't know the answer, and I felt stupid. And then I felt even stupid just because I got the candy out of pity. Was I happy that I got the candy? 100%. But, so this is why I want you to look into your life and to figure out your way of being and who you are today in certain circumstances and in an area that you kind of wish you were a little bit different in, and then get curious as to where and when that started in your life. Because that was huge for me, and that came up for me the last couple of years, and I still struggle with it. You know, I have tests, and I have online programs, and I have this, and I battle with myself back and forth on, you're not smart enough, you're not going to get it. How are you even taking yourself seriously? You think that people are actually going to listen to you? You know, and I get like that. I'm fucking smart. I come on here all the time, I'm learning, I'm in fitness, I've transformed my body, and I still have the same thought. All because when I was younger, I raised my hand and kids laughed at me. So, it's like a huge thing to really get curious about. And another thing that really popped up for me the other day was a lot of things in my life I act unsure about. Because again, I'm like afraid of going all in and then being made fun of, which is crazy because we're just getting in our own way. But like when I grew up, I was convinced that I was a boy. It didn't make sense that people were calling me a girl. I'm like, why are you calling me that? Stop, like, you're so annoying. I don't get it. And it just continued my whole life. So it relates back to a young age. I was sure I was a boy. But people around me told me I wasn't, because technically I wasn't. But, you know, I had my mom telling me that. I had my sister. I had people at school. I had people telling me. And I'm like, so I was so sure of it. But everyone in my whole life was telling me different. And that has literally, and I just figured this out 4 days ago, this had literally been brought into my entire life. So what happened is that I just started thinking that I clearly didn't know what I was doing. And I started listening to other people. Even up to when I went to college, I got accepted for interior design, which is so interesting. I'm not even sure what would have happened with that. My mom suggested police foundations. I'm like, that sounds sick. And it sounds like you'd be proud of me. Okay, I'll do it. So I did that. And then it continued to happen. After college, like, you know, this opportunity came up. Sure, I'll take it. Came here. This opportunity came up. Sure, went there. Moved to Hamilton for a girlfriend. Well, not a girlfriend, someone I liked that I just screwed up a lot of things with, but moved there for that. I was always doing things that other people were suggesting because I didn't believe in myself. And that's why it's taken me so long to get where I'm at right now. And yeah, I still struggle with it, but up until 4 days ago, it really makes a massive difference to me that I've been able to connect the dots. And that's what I mean on like being able to connect the dots going backwards, but you can't connect the dots going forward. And by being able to connect the dots going backwards, you can start looking at things from the outside in and really figuring out what happened along the way that made you be the way you are today. Because we were born with no thoughts, no whatever. Like I said, we're all taught those things. So at some point in our life, something happened that in that moment, we were like, you know what? No, I'm never letting this happen again. And we do that with relationships, you know, we let our walls down, we get hurt, we feel like we can trust someone because they tell us all the things that we want to hear. And then something happens and we go, I knew it. I knew it. It's happened before. I'm never letting anyone in my life again. Nope, that's it. I'm not doing it. And then we put our walls right back up and we walk through life like that. And it's so lonely and empty. It doesn't have to be. Because I know that the quality of people out there, it's a little bit low right now. But I think it's because not enough people are taught that self-growth is so important and that we actually have a choice. A lot of people think that they have to be who they are because of everything that happened in their life. But we have the power to change ourselves at any given moment. Any given moment. And so if we continue to bring in all of these experiences from our past that happened in the past, what do you think our future is going to look like? Just like our past did. Maybe even worse, because we're bringing it from the past. So we're not even as open to these things as we were in the past, because now like we're just like, no, I have decided. And then usually actually in my experience, not only from myself, but for other people, is that, hey Chantel, hey Nat, hey Mika, my experience is right, because then from other people is that by having that wall so hard up, you're unable to actually see people for who they are. And then in which case, you're going to lose out on an opportunity. You're going to lose out on an opportunity with them. And then usually what happens, we have that wall so hard up that it takes for like this like one person, this one random person where they come in on this like vulnerable moment that we have. And we're like, okay, I'm going to try it again. But then at that point, we're not stepping back and looking at this person as a whole. We're doing what we did in the past and we're getting caught up. And it's because we've been blocked for so long that we don't want to look at anyone as an opportunity. And then finally it just pops in on that small moment of being vulnerable. And we give in. And here we are. Back at square one, the square that we wanted to avoid, the square we've been afraid of. And by being blocked for so many people from an experience that we've had, and then not being able to properly choose the next person we actually believe in or whatever, it usually means we end up with the wrong person again. And then what happens is we get to prove our ego right. Because then the same thing happens with this new person, and it's like, you're an idiot. I told you this was going to happen. But it's because we weren't looking for it. It popped up in our vulnerable moment, and then we decided to give it a chance. And because we weren't taking a step back and looking at it as a whole, we end up in the same situation, and then we're upset, and we're in that mindset again of like, never again. No one likes me. It never goes right. People are pieces of shit. People are this, blah, blah. It's always everyone else's problem, right? It's always everyone else's problem. But it comes down to us, who we are, what and how we want to see things, and what we're willing to be responsible for. Because you are responsible for your life and how you see it, how you live it, how you perceive it, how you react to it, and what the hell are you going to do with it? So if we can work on our inner dialogue and get clear on what is our actual ego and what is our actual gut instinct, and then both of them don't really relate, because the ego, as I said, is out to keep us small, and the gut is to be like, I don't know, man, I think something's going on here, but you got to figure it out. They don't work together. They're not a team. It's almost like they're enemies. The gut's like, you got to think about this, and the ego's like, nope, this happened before. Alarm, 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 alarm. Stay small, stay small, stay small, stay small. It's like, piss off. I want to take control here. I control my body. So it's just huge when it's like that, because if we continue bringing the past into the present, our future is going to look exactly like our past. And if you don't like your past, or if you wish something was better in your past, or if you had a bunch of situations that happened in your past, number one, it happened. It's gone. Let it go. It actually has no room in your future. And actually, by sharing unnecessary stories, to be honest, about your past, only continue to bring up that upset that you felt in that moment. And there's no room for that energy in your future. Everything that happened in the past happened, and it's made us who we are today. And in order to continue to move forward into a powerful future, we have to leave that behind us, and each day be very clear on what our intentions are for the day and what we really have planned for ourselves and in our life. Because if we just wake up every day and just treat it as a day, and it is what it is, and X, Y, and Z happened, and blah, 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 you're not going anywhere forward, and you're just blocking yourself. So, as I was explaining earlier, the whole intention on this is to ask yourself, what is something in my life that I feel as if bitter and resentful, I know I need to move past it? Yeah. I think what you have to ask yourself, because a lot of people are like that, right? Like, everyone's really like that. And I'm not saying I'm not like that at all. I'm like that sometimes as well. That's really a main inspiration of why I did this live today. But to ask yourself how holding on to that is serving you. And when you can get clear on that, it really isn't serving you at all. And are you wanting to come from a place of where you're right, or where you just want to let it go? Because you don't have to accept what happened at all. But what you can do is take responsibility for your part in what happened. Maybe, and then just be able to be like, let it go, because it doesn't serve you at all. And I know it's easier said than done. It's a practice to kind of keep going, to just ask yourself, what was actually the impact on me back then, and now what is the impact on me now, still kind of being in those thoughts and in that whatever, like, what's the impact on me now? And usually what it is a negative impact right now, right? Which in fact is like, it's in a way subconsciously holding you back. And we really do have the power to just let it go. So even in terms, so, it's like, just really get curious today and ask yourself, what's something that comes up for you? Mine was, like I said, I'm afraid to raise my hand. I think I'm stupid. All because of that time I raised my hand and got laughed at. And, well, you know what? Honestly, if you'd like to chat about that, you can feel free to inbox me and we can chat, and maybe we can possibly get a clearing for that and really get that out of your space so you can move forward, because there's really no sense of holding on to it. There's no value. There wasn't any value back then either. There's definitely not any value now. So, again, ask yourself, say you're insecure, or, say you don't want, say whatever. Say it's insecure, okay? So think to yourself, what point in my life, what happened at one point when I was younger, that in that moment I decided to be that way? So get clear on that, and we can just really start working through that. And I highly encourage anyone on here, whoever watches my videos, whoever really gets what I'm saying, you don't have to work through this alone. You can send me a message. I'm here to support. My biggest stand in life is to really help people live a life that they love and really just get free from their past and really see how much it's preventing you from progressing at all, because everything is happening in the now. It already happened. You can't change it. And remember, every single person is different. So this person that you're feeling a certain way about, either they know what happened and they don't care, or they don't even realize what happened, because that's what happens to us a lot of times, is that we get and create, as I was mentioning at the beginning, a story about something where we allow ourselves to get worked up, thinking that that person knew what they were doing. Oh, they knew what they're... It's like they actually just don't know any different. And if you can start coming from a place of that, is that people are doing the best they can. The best that they know, that they were taught. Unless they're doing something to work on themselves, they don't know any better. And they actually think they're right. That's why some people are so like adamant on like, how do you think that? And they're like about their opinion. And it's like, because we all have our own individual thoughts. And we're not psychics. And we're not out to get everyone. And if people are out to get people, well, goodbye. But you know, it's not personal. It's not personal. What people are dealing with in those moments are thoughts that they think are true. They really think it's true. They believe it. And they think they're right. So we have a choice. Do we want to be right about a situation? There's no right and wrong. There just is. It's just a thought. It's an action. We're people. That's why things are a communication. To communicate with someone, to understand why people are thinking the way they're thinking. No one's right, no one's wrong. It just is. And the more we can get clear on that, the more we're able to let things go, the more we're able to understand that things are not personal. People actually think they're right. They do. So there's no right, no wrong. Take responsibility for your actions, and take responsibility with how you're carrying around that for yourself right now. And honestly, like I have that right here. Let it go. Let it go. Believe in yourself and let it go. Because life is too short to be living in the past. We never know what's going to happen. We could walk out tomorrow and get hit by a fucking car. And would it make sense that we wake up every day and live our life anything less than amazing? It doesn't. So let people go. Understand, as I said, we're all different, not personal, and it's their loss. So I feel really good today about today's session. I'm just going to keep going with these lives every day, and I'm going to continue showing up and providing as much value as possible. And I'm creating a YouTube channel. I'm going to put these all on my YouTube, and I'm not too sure what else that looks like, but it's really important to me to get my words out there. So if anything ever sits with you and you guys love what you're hearing and you stay on for the whole time, well, I appreciate you so much. Always drop a heart, a love, share it, do whatever you can. And I'm happy that you said that everything I said was on point. So kind of take that into consideration today. And I'd definitely be interested in hearing, like what pops up for you. And just like kind of remind yourself of that. And every time you have a thought or a judgment on someone, again, come from that place of they don't know better. They don't know. So if you're really curious why someone's acting a certain way, ask them. It's the only way we're going to actually find out. Because otherwise, we're creating a story. There's no point in getting lost in the story. It's what happened. That's it. Hey, Nat. Thanks so much. Yes. Enjoy your weekend, everyone. I will, of course, pop on tomorrow as well. But, woo! Yeah, bye. Appreciate you all so much.